Yuji is genetically Sukuna's twin, or Kenjaku created him with the last finger.
What?
No, I'm being serious, as this would explain his abnormal body and strength. Within the first arc, Megumi claimed that if the Tokyo and Kyoto schools faced Yuji all at the same time, without curse energy, they would lose against him. In fact, Yuji's abnormal strength for a sorcerer with no technique was pointed out multiple times in the series. For example, against Higuruma, even without curse energy, his raw strength was still impressive. And then later on, even Sukuna called it out in chapter 214 when he realized the reason behind it. So now let's focus on breaking down what makes Yuji different from other sorcerers, even the ones Sukuna fought 1000 years ago. In chapter 237, Hashimo asks the king if he earned the title of being the strongest, or was he born that way. Sukuna claims he was born a cursed, unwanted little wretch. Once again, Gege has made him the opposite of Yuji. In chapter 143, we learn Jin wanted a son no matter what, to the point of even allowing Kenjaku to take over his wife. This was even at the expense of his own father's life. This love is something Sukuna never experienced and thinks it's worthless. Everyone in his life gathered around him to seek out the immense power he had obtained, like Yoruzu, Gojo, or Kashimo. Sukuna throughout his life admitted in chapter 248 that he never had ideals or desires that went beyond himself. The sorcerers are becoming martyrs willing to die for each other. Therefore, Jin's willingness to die just for his son is beyond his understanding. However, after living in the same body as Yuji, he came to accept that these ideals and beliefs are very real and can give a person strength beyond measure.
True, and
Since all evil, taking everything in the world for himself. Editor, please can you do a quick Google search? What's the opposite of malevolent? Yup, benevolent. Since Yuji eventually unlocked the king's technique for himself, this would allow Yuji to unlock the opposite domain expansion, as his nature is to save people, leading it to healing instead of spreading pain. But speaking of pain, we all know it's needed to a journey, and has admitted that he's taken the curses of his fallen comrades on his shoulder, Gojo, and much more. These pushed him to become more powerful, where Black Flash is was, and it helps understand the core of curse energy. Essentially, expansion is the sorcerer casting their soul's innate domain and technique out onto the world. In chapter 11, Sukuna claims that it's the heart of a sorcerer. When you connect this to Mahito's claim that could see all souls in all living beings, he states it's two. Even the manga claims in chapter 61 that sincerity is Yuji's greatest weapon, and he's chosen by the Black Sparks. This nature is perfectly displayed in chapter 64. Although Yuko was obese, Yuji didn't treat her links with the meaning of his name. Yu translates to abundant, help, and brave, whilst Ji means caring for others. His family name Itadori comes from Japanese knotweed, which is used in traditional medicine to take away pain. Therefore, now that we know the nature of Yuji's innate domain,